Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. This topic is a bit near and dear to my heart because, anybody who has spent 5 milliseconds consuming any of my content or looking behind me, uh, you can tell I have an affinity for Lord of the Rings, Tolkien in general. Um, so I'm taking this a little more personally, and I did kind of have a bit of a heartache, or not a heartache, a heart attack when this happened and went down. So let's get into it, I guess. From Dexterto, man refused refund after digital Lord of the Rings movies disappear from his library. Now, I don't know if you know this, but you do this to someone like me, them's fighting words. Them's them's we're going to war. Because no, you don't do that. Now, we don't know the details behind this in terms of like the specifics of which license. Did they get them specifically from Google? Did they get them from someplace else? Did that particular place he got the rights from disappear? Whatever, I don't know. But I will let you know right now, I went and looked for mine immediately. And I was having a panic attack. I was like, no, 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 wait. So I was going ham, trying to be like, sure, I had my stuff. Because I have all three Lord of the Rings Extended Edition and all three Hobbits Extended Edition digital on my Google Drive, not Google Drive, Google Movies, and my, I guess, Movies Anywhere app. And so I was like, these better freaking be there. And thankfully they were. So I'm not sure what his specific instant is, but this is what we hear. A man who bought a movie box set digitally through Google Play says he was denied a refund after the company removed it from its catalog. So again, I don't know if Google removed it. I don't know why you would remove them. They're like one of the best-selling movies of all time. Like, why would you ever do that? But whatever. Google TV, formerly Google Play Movies, which is back when I was in there, and TV, is a digital video service that lets you rent or buy a variety of films, TV shows. Well, it doesn't let you buy them, clearly, because they can just remove them. Much like other streaming sites, they have a fluctuating catalog of movies. Here's the funny part. Fluctuating catalog of movies should be only for selling, not for permanence of purchases. I don't know why this has not been addressed by anybody in terms of like taking the government to task for not figuring this out. This crap is stupid. How is it that we cannot possibly know what a license will or will not do when you own something? Because do you own the movie? Well, not the IP, but you don't need to own the IP to own the copy of that film. If I go over one of my many DVD variations, because I have the DVD variation, the Blu-ray version, all that kind of stuff. If I go grab one and I say, this is not a license per se. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's a physical copy. They can't rescind it. They can't revoke it. It's there until it either breaks or somebody tries to break it, which is not going to end well for them. But point being, it's my physical. Now, I do the same process as you would say go on to Google Play Movies, or in this case, Google TV, to purchase something. You are purchasing, you're buying it like you would buy at the store, and you would pick up the physical copy and purchase or buy that physical copy. It's the exact same thing, just one's purely digital and one's physical. There's no difference besides this, right? It's not a different license, because one license is the same license. It's just one's physical, one's not physical. And it makes total sense that if they lose the license to sell the product, that's one thing. It's an entirely different thing if it's not selling, it's just hosting what you currently have. So if I go buy again, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, Extended Edition. Why would you not, if you could? I mean, I already have them, so I wouldn't need to, but if I ever, for whatever reason, didn't have access to them, and I wanted to go out and I'd buy them again, I would expect that when I want to watch them, I can watch them, because that's the agreement from my side of things to them. Me going to them and saying, I agree to pay you for unlimited access to this thing I paid for. But because, of course, the law doesn't seem to apply to the people who make products or make services, or provide services rather, I guess it doesn't matter. Because they won't apply it to the company. They only apply the rule to the consumer. Which would be your terms of service or whatever, which I still don't understand, because you can't, like, magically terms of service the rights away if you have rights. Property rights still exist, so I don't understand when I buy something, it becomes my property, therefore I have rights to it. It's paid off. You can't take it back. But for whatever reason, the rights aspect is a little wonky. Just a little wonky. Because they can just say, you know what, and this is a Sony L all the time, where they're just going to go, whoop, I know you bought this whole box set of, the Friends TV show or whatever to have all 10, 12 seasons, whatever the heck it is. But we're just going to remove that, and you just don't have it anymore. It's like, you losing a license has nothing to do with this. Nothing. Literally nothing. Because licenses are only for selling, the sale of something. But, like, for example, when EA stopped making Lord of the Rings stuff for video games, and a lot of stuff stopped being purchasable, right? They didn't go and empty out everybody's already full libraries of Lord of the Rings titles. Because somebody owns it. It's property now. Like, just because you own the cow ranch, if I buy your cow, I don't own the brand of cow, but I own that cow. And I can keep it as a cow, milk it, or I can butcher it and have food for my family for a good long while. Or I can just have it as a pet. Whatever I want to do, because it's my cow. You can't just show up and say, well, I'm sorry, sir, the terms of service say that your purchase only is good for 3 months, and then we come pick up the cow. That's not how that works. It's a purchase, not a rental, not a lease, not a temporary thing. It's a permanent thing. Again, government's stupid, but what else is new? Water is wet, the sun is hot, sky is blue, clouds form, rain falls, thunderclaps, lightning form. I'm speaking the obvious here. I understand this. But what really grinds my gears is that people don't understand this. And that when they do that, when they yank it, they're waiting and expecting you to go buy more from them. Why would you go buy stuff from people that are going to actively remove it from you and not compensate you for it? So let's continue. However, a user who purchased the extended editions of Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy was left aggrieved with the site and its live support service after the content they bought suddenly disappeared from the site. We don't know why it disappeared from the site, but it is whatever. The user, You Going Down Sokka 1, posted a screenshot of a live support chat and a now deleted Reddit thread stating that they purchased the Lord of the Rings movies back in 2022. The attached screenshot shows the live supporting agent explaining to the user that the content was removed from the catalog. Why? We don't know. But they are ineligible for a refund as the original purchase exceeded the company's 120-day refund window. I don't think he's asking for a refund because he wants to get his money back and doesn't want the product anymore. That's what a refund window was supposed to be for. And then Tolkien World, at Tolkien World G on Twitter/X, It says, just a reminder, always support physical media. And then it shows this part where it says, upon reviewing your account, we can confirm that the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition trilogy is no longer available in our catalog, which is why it's no longer visible on your end. That's not an actual good explanation in any shape or form. So the guy responds, oh, okay, so is there a resolution, a refund perhaps? I understand you are requesting a refund for this purchase. However, because the movie was bought in 2022, it exceeds our standard 120-day refund window. Unfortunately, we are unable to process a refund for this transaction as it is no longer available in our system. We are sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. It's like saying I bought a house and then somebody shows up and says, you don't have the deed no more. Can I have a refund? Nope. You're just out of a house. Because reasons. Have a nice day. And he goes, but I paid for them and for the item, and it's no longer being provided. That it is what it is. The agreement when you buy something is that you are buying it, and they will maintain access to it, so you can have access to it. That is the digital procedure, as opposed to the physical. Because with the physical, I don't need them to maintain anything because I maintain it. That's how that works. Guy says, I bought these in 2022, and all of a sudden they aren't available, and there's no possibility of a refund or a gift card. Hardly seems fair. Now, granted, he probably didn't have to pay too much for it. It's not like he might be out like $30, $40, something like that. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like his house is being taken away. It's not like his car's gotten repoed. It's not quite the same thing. However, it is a piece of property that you are losing access to, and it is a piece of property that you own, that you have full rights to, that are acknowledged by the governing documents of this country. So, the fact that no one's enforcing that basically tells you everything you need to know about who you have in office. So, if somebody's in office that you voted to put there, they ain't doing jack diddly squat. And congratulations, you don't have digital rights for some weird random reason, because they need to be digital. I didn't realize I had to digitize my rights in order to access things that I own. It's a crazy world, man. So, in response to the post, some users vented their shared frustration. Insist you get a refund, don't drop it, one user wrote. Another said, you're being stolen from and arguing with a bot. Yeah. Others taking to X sympathize with the customer, citing the frustrations with digital media. The reason I never bother to buy anything online. I'm not paying for something I can't own. This is a valid argument. A super hardcore valid argument as to why you should not only buy digital. Now, I see this as a person who clearly buys physical. And I have two containers here of video games and movies, all physical. My exception for digital is for things that are not physical, or things I already have a physical of, or something I ordered that isn't physical that I can get digital of early for super cheap. I do not pay full price. Like, ever. Ever. So, like, for example, if there's like a game for $40 that I already own, and I'm like, but it's digital, so I could just push a button, or I could access it from virtually any place, whether it be PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, another PC, or whatever, and I can just access it whenever I want to without having to have a physical disc on me at that moment, and I'm like, I want the conveniency of it. I already own it, or I'm going to own it. I'm in the process of getting to own it. I can get it for like $4. Not a big deal. Worst comes to worst, I'm out $4 if they do wipe it, but I'm still gonna sue the snot out of them for doing that, because that's not how that works. But it's not $40, it's not $60, it's not $80. It's not this massive amount, because I'm not stupid. But those are like my exceptions for digital. I don't do just digital only. I mean, in some instances, I have to because PC is virtually digitally only. I have a massive PC library that's physical that I have from when I grew up, or was growing up. I'm still growing up, technically speaking. But when I was in middle school, high school, and all that stuff, I built up quite the library of games that I like to play, and I played a lot. um, digitally speaking, yeah, Steam, GOG, they're digital. GOG, they're DRM free, so I own, technically, literally, physically, I can own everything on GOG that I buy. Because I can take that file, like the installation file, boop, put it on a disk, put it on a USB drive, whatever the case might be, bam. I have a physical copy of it. Doesn't matter what GOG does, and they're not going to do anything because this is their brand. This is what they go off. They're like, this is what we do. This is how we do. We do DRM free stuff. We don't want to have control over your stuff. We just want to sell you good old games. That's it. Steam, it's kind of the same thing, a little bit different. They have DRM stuff, but they do have things written into their company structure that if something ever happens to Steam, everything goes instantly DRM free and you get to download everything you have. No problems. It's yours. It's digital, but you could put it on physical or whatever the case is. This is just, that's how the structure is, and that's the only real reason I'm like a bigger fan of them than anybody else outside of obviously GOG. So GOG and Steam are the two that I will buy from, digitally speaking. I'm not a fan of Epic in any shape or form, and people who've been here before know that. Uh, but this only like solidifies my reasons that digital only bros are some of the lowest human beings on the planet. And I'm no offense to you, but kind of all the offense to you because you did this to yourself. You did this to us who don't want it. You're doing like, let's be real here. PlayStation 6, no disc, no buy whole thing. You probably have heard of this. There is absolutely zero reason for there to be a single person against discs being in existence. There's no reason, no excuse. There's nothing. Having physical does not bother your digital purchase. So even if you are a digital only bro, you should be 100% behind physical media. Now, what are the benefits of this? One, let's say they do yank your digital rights and you lose your game. Well, now you can go out and buy the physical copy of it and you can still play it and you can still have fun with it. If there's no physical, then and there's no digital, then there ain't no you having fun in that game. So you just dump plumb out of luck. So what else? Well, basic argument. Digital's not cheaper than physical in most scenarios. We also know, on a side note, that PlayStation's been trying area-specific cost differences. So people who buy a lot of stuff will get one pricing. People who buy rarely get another pricing. So basically, people who buy consistently get a higher price. People who buy rarely get a lower price. Because they're testing this because they're trying to coax people into buying stuff and get them in the habit of buying stuff. If they get you in the habit of buying stuff, they can raise the prices up. So not everyone's paying the same amount of money for the same game. You could go buy a game and I'll go buy a game and we're going to be paying probably different prices. Could be $2, could be $5, could be $10, could be $20. I don't know. But it depends on the game. Another reason, if you're playing any game that's like a form of, well, I mean, we'll start with one. We'll start with PvP, competitive play, whatever you want to look at it, call it. If you're playing Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, Fortnite, whatever, although Fortnite's always free, so it doesn't really matter anyway. But if you're playing those kind of games, if you have people buying physical, and they're the physical, not necessarily physical onlyists, but physical supremacists, They're saying physical before everything else, at least before they buy digital, which is what I would be. I'm a physicalist with an addendum for digital under certain circumstances. If we're going that route, that's more people in the lobby for you. That's more games that are easier to get into faster. That's a good reason for you to have this. If you go to things like, what if it's a single player game? Well, the more people that buy it, and this goes for all games, including PvP and everything else, multiplayer games. If more people buy it, the developers see that and say, oh, people want more of our stuff, or they want more support for this game. So, for example, people who buy on PC, they want mods. The more people that are playing the game, the modders will see this and say, hey, this is a really popular game. I like this game. I'm going to spend time to make this mod. But then it becomes popular. They can make money off of it, or whatever the case might be. Benefits them. It benefits us be able to access the mod. And for those of you losers who can't access mods because you're not playing a PC, sorry, a PC Master Race. But if you're not able to do that, I know PlayStation 5's got a minor modding ability, but it's not like the simplicity of PC where you just click on a button, and it's now loaded. But in that case, it benefits the developers, which benefits the players. Because if the developers are getting a lot of sales for their game, they're more likely to come out with another one or additional content. Crimson Desert being an example. They sell like 3 million copies or 5 million copies. I don't even know where they're at now. They sold millions of copies, and then they started dropping 4 hours of free content for all platforms because it was popular. It was selling. Now you could say, oh, well, 70-80% of that was digital. Sure. But 20% of 3 million still a freaking lot, guys. Still a freaking lot. And that's sales that if they didn't get, maybe they wouldn't have as much of a reason to do the other stuff. Maybe not add more support, maybe not, send out modder kits so people can have an easier time of modding their game or whatever. This is all stuff that should be universal and should be everybody on board with this. I don't know why this is a strange thing to fight over. Like, digital onlyists are like hardcore against physical games, and I don't understand why. Because you can go to a store and buy the digital game for cheaper than the physical game cheaper than the digital game. 9 times out of 10. So let's say, you're in there like, oh, I'm going to go buy Grand Theft Auto 6 digitally. Hypothetically, let's assume they make a physical copy. Well, I mean, they're going to make it physical for Xbox. They're going to make it physical for everywhere else, but not for PlayStation, I don't believe. But let's hypothetically say they do make a PlayStation 5 physical copy of Grand Theft Auto 6. If you go buy the digital right away, you're paying $80 or $100 flat. Now, let's say you go get a physical copy, but you see, oh, well, somebody's already played it / beaten it and returned it. Well, now you can get it for $5, $10, $15 cheaper, and you still get access to the same game. Well, you could save money doing that. Do that enough times, now you could buy a whole other freaking game. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Or you could save that $5, $10, $15 and put that straight back into the game and buy your loot boxes or your in-game currency or whatever the situation is. And it's just beneficial for you in general. There's lots of reasons to do this. Now, I understand if you don't have a disk drive. Sure, I get it. You can still technically get one. But I understand that you don't have any desire towards the physical media. But it's not just about you. It's about the whole of the gaming industry and its health. Is it in a healthy place? Currently, no. The third party market's the only, I guess you'd call it secondhand. The third party secondhand market is the only thing keeping the gaming industry afloat at this point, and they're about to burn that to the ground. So all that's going to be left that's even worth pursuing is going to be PC, if they do that. Now, Nintendo's saying that they're going to stick with physical. Fantastic. It's one of the reasons I buy so many freaking cartridge containers, because I buy a lot of Nintendo because it's physical. I like having it there. Now, if I get really annoyed at having to go through 6,000 freaking different, cartridges and saying I'd rather just click on it, then I can go. I can choose to go find the digital copy of the game I already own physically and buy it, so I don't have to go find the cartridge. I can just push a button and boom, I'm there. But that's my personal decision. That doesn't bother either group. It doesn't bother the digital onlyist. It doesn't bother the physical onlyist, and it definitely doesn't bother the physicalists with an addendum to buying digital, like myself. I cannot fathom why people have to be so hardcore in favor of digital media to the point that we get blackouts, which, from what I understand, were not PlayStation or Sony's and Microsoft's fault for Xbox and PlayStation being down. It was the servers that everything's being hosted on went down, like there's a blackout of some sort, which is only another reason to show that digital only is not the way to go. Having an always online console, not the way to go. Can you have your console online all the time? Like, yeah, plug it in. Boom, you're online all the time. But if I don't want to be online all the time and I want to just use it to play what's on the freaking disc, I shouldn't have to have any internet connection and I can just do my thing. That's how it should be. I mean, we could say goodbye to those days, Xbox 360 era, but it was a nice time. Everybody liked it. So, from my perspective, this is all stupid. This is all pointless. This is all useless. Because every digital bro or digital only bro I've come across has been staunchly against physical media. Because just convenience outweighs everything. I'll admit, I like convenience too. But I'm not going to just not buy physical media because I understand the value of physical media. I buy physical media. Vinyls, games, more games, books, physical Lord of the Rings stuff, more physical Lord of the Rings stuff, more physical stuff, audiobooks, more books, more books, strategy guides, mangas, all collectible items. Like, I like physical. I really like physical because I like to hold it in my hand. I like to get a disc of a CD soundtrack. I like to get the effect of looking through an actual art book, not a digital art book, where I just click a button and I'm like, oh, wow, this is really touching. But I can smell the freaking thing. I can actually get all these cool things that I can hang around. I've got band wall flags that I can put up on my walls whenever I want to. I haven't done it yet because we're still in the process of finalizing the whole of the basement. But at some point, I'm going to have my wall flags laying around everywhere. I'm going to have my Lord of the Rings, Rohirrim and Gondor, or Rohan and Gondor banners behind my TV over here with the surround sound and everything. Like, I'm going to have this stuff available to look at because I support it. But I can't really say I ultimately support it because I paid somebody money and they gave me a digital copy they can take away at any moment of time. Just like this guy lost his Lord of the Rings extended editions. Mine thankfully were not touched, but I didn't buy mine through Google Play, I don't believe. But even if I did, I don't know why his disappeared and mine didn't. I don't know. I believe mine came with the DVD itself, but I don't understand how the rights work in the specifics of that. So I can't comment on that. There's something finicky or some shenanigans going on in the background. So it is what it is. But I will never not have physical copies of The Lord of the Rings. It's just not going to happen. I still need to get my hands on the 4K box set because I haven't been able to find the one I want. The one I want is stupid expensive, and I don't have that kind of money at the moment. But there is one I want, and I have to find it because everyone bought it, because everyone wanted physical collections of it. Why they don't have collector's editions of everything? They didn't have a collector's edition of Star Fox 64 equivalent for Switch. They're not going to have a collector's edition for Ocarina of Time when it comes out. I don't know why. They did for Breath of the Wild. They have a Master's Edition. They had for Tears of the Kingdom. Why would you not? Outside. These are all like large editions of games. Like, they come with physical items and cool things in them. You get posters, you get lithograms, you get metal objects. Like, I have the Star Wars ones. They give me like freaking little metal lightsabers and stuff. They're freaking cool. But they're physical things. Some of them come with statues and whatnot. Like, what is the downside to this? I mean, the downside is that they're more expensive, but if you're a collector, this is great. If you're not a collector, you should still be okay with them being made. I don't know why Nintendo doesn't market more stuff, despite half of these being Nintendo, if not 3/4 of them being Nintendo. Why they don't market more stuff in collector's editions, because they always sell out. It's a guaranteed money printing machine. They always sell out. Even if it's $300-400, they still sell out. So why they don't make them, I don't know. Especially for things like Star Fox, especially for things, really especially things, Ocarina of Time. Why would you not? That's the easiest zillions of dollars you could generate instantaneously. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I don't know why this is a thing. I don't know why people argue over this. I don't know why any of this has to exist in any shape or form. But we're going to operate, as we always have, and do physical media. Because, why not? There's no downside. I mean, the downside is I have to get up and push a button, pull something else, swap it out, and push it back in, and then I have to dig a little card thing and zip it back up, and then I have to put it away nice and gently so my kids don't destroy it. But who cares? Are we that lazy? Are we at Wall-E territory? Like, we're just big fat blobs that sit on a chair that hovers around with robots that do everything for us? Are we really at that point right now? Because I'm definitely not, and I can still get exhausted in this heat. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you think that there's any particular change we could do to this, or any effect, or if there's a way to contact your local representative for your state and your principality, or whatever it is, your county, your town, your whatever, and then be like, hey, I want to know what my digital rights are. Can you help me understand what they are? Can you tell me what they are? Do I have digital rights? Because they're the same as physical property rights, just digital. So why can I not have this stuff? Why is this stuff being pulled? Why are you not protecting my rights? What am I putting you in office for? The whole purpose for you to be there is to protect my rights, is to step up and make sure everybody else is also protecting these rights. This should not be a complicated procedure. Every single person should be like, yes, I want to be able to own permanently the thing that I purchase. The only person, especially politician, that is in office that would not be for this is corrupt. Get him out. Just yeet him out. We don't need him. All it has to be is pretty obvious. Anybody votes against that, they're gone. I that's the simplest thing. But I want to hear what your thoughts are. Leave a comment, like, dislike, share with a friend if you think they would benefit from hearing anything about this. Maybe they're not aware of it and they'd like to check it out themselves, whatever the case might be. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you so much. And remember, my friends, walk in the light.